I was born with the mind of a madman. Understand, terror pushing dust like a fan. Goddamn, you just found out that I'm the man. Where you been at? I get more head than a snapback cap. It's been like that since way before we bounce back. We snatching diamonds out the glass and we sell them right back. Fuck around and get jacked. Now you can't have it back. The vanilla villain always keep it straight on the track. So give me the cheese, hit the flow, breathe on up in your hole. Bust a 4-5, nose dive. You ain't making out the dough. Now we standing toe to toe, but I can't stand a filthy hoe. You ain't about this life, so check yourself and get ghost. Oh, he ain't know. I curl hoes with my flavor blessed flows. About enough dough to make the ocean explode. This ain't a joke, I ain't a TV show host. I'm with the 305 demon doing the most. And while we on the subject, you're fucking with a suspect. He frontin' and we know that. We fuck him up in public. He probably out that Prozac, swinging from a ball sack. He's got the 9 shine bitch made and you don't want that. You can't rap like me, motherfucker. I just started. Coming to clean it up like Wahlberg and the departed. So let me pass it off to the OG trendsetter, microphone shredder. Y'all motherfuckers better
follow me, follow me. I can show you everything you were supposed to see.
like your family in the seat with their feet all in concrete, bitch.
Grab your daddy's gun and come with me. Follow me, follow me. I can show you everything you were supposed to see.
Like $1 million in cash. Grab the cheddar, better wear a mask. Outlaws in the cut, we bout to burn your ass.
You don't want me to bring it back to my old ways. It's always my way, baby, all day. It's my day today. I'm playing with the AK. Got the 40 clapping broad day like, hey, baby. I'm feeling myself. 40,000 on the field. I got a problem, can somebody give me help? Better yet a belt. See me hanging from my ceiling fan. No, I can't be your Superman, cause I can't save myself. Baby bone, got up on the pit with rappers thinking they slick. They quit, they lick the dick, they jump and ship the ship, no loyalty. Money, 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 yeah, the root of evil. Got me jumping over backwards like Evil Knievel. Let me die like Elvis, where I feel my safest. I just pray the opposition don't find where the safest. My bitches don't get fed until they bring me bread. How many rappers in my city really want me dead? Hate turning to jealousy, then it turning to bullets. I look my enemy in the eye, yelling pussy, just pull it. You bout that? I doubt that. I took your baby mama straight to Outback and blew her fucking back out. I'm bout that. Follow me, follow me. I can show you everything you were supposed to see.
Like your family in the seat with their feet all in concrete, bitch.
Grab your daddy's gun and come with me. Follow me, follow me. I can show you everything you were supposed to see.
Like $1 million in cash. Grab the cheddar, better wear a mask. Outlaws in the cut, we bout to burn your ass.
Check two. Check one, check two. Hi, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to another episode. My name is Owen. People call me Big Bear. People also call me How Dare You. Hi. Unauthorized. Don't forget to subscribe to unauthorized.tv. And if you want to support the chat, write me a letter, P.O. Box 727, Gig Harbor, Washington, 98845. Today has a fairly provocative title. It's episode 869. Why does evil always win? Oh, how dare you. It's a very interesting thing to think about, and so you want to just get into it? Hi, my ladle is yours. Thank you, non-grabware messianic. Ladle's up, the plane is taking off. All right, why does evil always win? I was talking to my friend about a Muslim scholar. Oh, how dare you? About the history of when the Mongols took, what's that city in Iraq? Why am I spacing on the city? Baghdad. When the Mongols took Baghdad. And no, I don't believe in the Genghis Khan myth as described, but I do believe in the hordes of the steppe called the Mongols. And for those of you who don't know, the Mongols in the 13th, or I think it was 13th century, late 13th, early 14th, I can't remember, took Baghdad and they killed 800,000, a band of 50,000 Mongols killed 800,000 Muslims. And it's a scar that they have and they've passed down and they talk about. And the lessons they learned from that. And I think we can all, Genghis Sexton, right. The story of Genghis Khan, you know, there isn't even any depictions of him. You know, a lot of people say he has red hair, green eyes, that he killed 50 million people. A lot of things that don't add up. But were there Mongols? Yes. Were there, you know, really tough butchers from the steppe? Absolutely. Was it a constant fear for a lot of people in the West and the Middle East? Yes. So one of the things that one of the Mongols said to the Muslim leader as he was starving him, he held out this golden plate and said, why would you keep this golden plate when you could have paid warriors? Why do you have a metal fence when you could have made spears? You know, 700 Muslim scholars went out to meet the Mongols and they killed all but 50. The story goes, and this has been passed out through oral and written tradition, because they never wanted to forget the lessons of this. 800,000 seems a little low. I don't know. That's what they say. I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to get. If you're encouraging the murder of Muslims, that's very weird. I understand Zionist media really does do a number on people's brains, but try and get out of that. It's just really, really stupid. Anyway, so there were stories of they would put all these men in, they would tell people that they couldn't leave their houses. And one Mongol woman would say, everyone go in the house, and she would then kill all of them. All right, sound familiar? Yeah, you're experiencing it right now. And the lesson is about it's about getting too fat and lazy. It was about the Muslims at the time in Baghdad had 500 years of gold. 500 years of just relaxed and very prosperous times. And so when the Mongol horde came, when the evil descended to them, they were unable to withstand against the evil. And so today's question is, why does evil always win? Because when someone isn't evil, they're very it's very hard for them to act. They're too satisfied. They're whole. You know, most people that are not evil don't do very much. They just go with the flow because they can't really be motivated. Let me tell you the story of Chris D'Elia. And I talked about this yesterday. My opinion on him has changed a little bit. I wouldn't say defending him, but I was saying there's no evidence of what they're saying to be true, and I was analyzing why the media would be going after him, because we all know they don't care about children or justice. And then I looked more into that video that he posted a few months ago. So Chris D'Elia, for those of you who don't know, and I know this dude. He definitely is a former or a current sex addict, but pedophile, that just seems like a stretch, and I don't trust the media. Whatever they say, I don't trust. And the irony is here you see him blasting people like me, not by name. He's never done anything to me personally, but there's a lot of knowledge to be heard here. Chris D'Elia on conspiracy theories about Hollywood, COVID-19, and Pizzagate. He says explicitly, and I'm not going to play the video because it's so annoying. He says that there's absolutely zero sexual deviancy going on in Hollywood, that Spacey is fine. Yeah, he likes some young dudes, whatever. By the way, the 3 of the witnesses to Spacey are all dead now, Chris. You know that, right? I don't know. You're saying if the government wants to track you, that's fine. They're not going to tell your wife if you're cheating on her. That's how this man's mind thinks, right? So then you see recently Chris D'Elia accused of soliciting nude photos from underage girls. My first instinct is I don't trust the media. So why do I care? You know, I thought that there's a good chance that because he now has a child and a wife, they're trying to beat him down, because the goal of evil is always demoralization and sterilization. Right, so there's definitely a pedo. You don't know that, bear in mind, Bear. You don't do that, because when people do that, it takes away from when you actually accuse someone who needs to be accused. Like a Steven Spielberg is vastly different than a Chris D'Elia. If he was trying to solicit nudes, and I know this is horrible behavior, I get it. I believe watching porn is horrible behavior. Okay? Look who you're talking to. Trying to solicit nude photos from pubescent, like sexually dressed Justin Bieber fans is not the same as raping and killing a 5-year-old. And if you just run around talking like that, you're not helping anybody. In fact, you're running cover, which is what I believe Chris D'Elia's job was to do, and he failed. This is what I believe happened. This is my new opinion. I think that he was either told told directly, because his dad's a real made man, real hooked up. You know, he comes from Hollywood, mega wealth, Beverly Hills, deep power, right? I think he was told to run cover, and he failed, so he got spanked. Do I think he solicited nudes from underage girls? Yes. I mean, he's notoriously Justin Bieber's favorite comic, and Bieber's joked publicly about how he gets so many girls because of his friendship with Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber's fan base is 15, 20 years younger than Chris D'Elia. I'm not here to throw mud at Chris. I'm really not. It's about you guys. I don't care about these people at all. It's about discernment and understanding how all this works. Why does evil always win? I'll explain. Because in order to get power in the system, they have to have something on you in order to twist and make you do something. To get someone to say these absurd things, to get someone, when was this, 2 months ago? Yeah, 2 months ago, to with a straight face say there's no pedophile problem in Hollywood. There's no sexual degeneracy in Hollywood, that it's our fault, that we need to go, quote unquote, go for a jog or comb our hair. You know, he's saying these things to say that the government, to be against the government tracking us because of COVID-19, like we got to grow up, right? That's running cover. So they promote this guy, and they feel they can do this because they have something on him. What they have on him is sin. It's the same thing they have on everybody. Basic sin. Who is they? People with a lot of sin. There is no tribe. Another publication today said that I'm some sort of anti-Semite, and I make fun of the way Jews talk, which is hysterical because that's oddly an admission that they talk like this. You could also say I'm doing an Adam Sandler impression. It's all nonsense. The irony about people calling me an anti-Semite is I'm one of the people saying it isn't, like, the evil doesn't stem from the Jews. A lot of them are just the highest paid slaves because of their life choices, their emptiness. Too much noise, can't hear God, yada yada. Okay, so I believe what happened is Chris D'Elia was supposed to run cover for these things that are now overtaking Hollywood. Danny Masterson just got arrested and charged with $3.3 million bail, yes, the 33's there, for rape from early 2000s. Right now there's a lot of movement and change and power happening, right? So you build up a tall Caucasian like Chris D'Elia to monitor and guide and hook and crook a certain demographic. And when a narrative becomes so big, they want him to run cover, squash it. Guys, obviously Hollywood has a pedophile problem. The guy he's defending right here, Kevin Spacey, has been accused by 3 underage men, people that were underage, of rape. They're all dead now. Okay? Oh, but Big Bear, they died. They were swimming in February. I get it. There's certain people that can't handle it. But look at the thumbs down. 3,000 thumbs down, 1,100 thumbs up, and that's on his own channel. And this is before, this screen grab is before this whole thing came out. My friend sent this to me immediately. So what do I think this is all about? I think that he failed and the beast spanked his ass. Is he a pedophile like a Spielberg allegedly? No. Does he have an appetite for young girls post-pubescent to give him sexual attention in a consensual way? Yes. Is he a full-blown rapist? No. In my opinion. In my opinion, that isn't the vibe. My opinion is he has an appetite, and that appetite is what's used to bend and move. So it gets back to my title. And I don't care about him. I'm not happy or sad or emotional about this. It's not a win either way. This is not a win. It's not a win or a loss. It doesn't matter. It's an analysis of how the beast functions. Didn't Chris play a pedo and workaholic? Yes, it's the hiding in plain sight strategy. Where you have a sexual deviant and you have him. It's like Titanic, all these movies that are trying to like guide. They're trying to like make you think, or like Hunger Games is Agenda 21. So the way this all works is they give you a movie and say that's fiction. So if you start thinking that that's how the world really works, with one world government capital and the regions and sacrificing the children for peace, yada yada yada, you're remembering a movie. Okay, so anyway, they're running cover for his sexual degeneracy. Do they care about underage girls? No, zero, not at all. They would gut them and eat them if it meant one more sniff of fake virtue and power. One of my friends is very hooked up in Hollywood. Said that because he's really good at something, it's not because he's sold his soul, that the elites are all gone. And I'm not talking about, Tom Cruise or something. I'm talking about elites, like the owners. They're all gone. They're all like in Idaho. They missed the whole ride. And I said, when do you think they'll come back? And he said, when there's prey. They can't be alone. They're vampires. They need blood and cum. Want to fact check me, Chris? I don't think people are going to believe you anymore, buddy. You lost. So what happened is there's so much prey. These are vampiric forces that are at the tops of these hills. And they look down like buzzards. Not like eagles, buzzards. And they look for prey and they feast. And they can't be alone because God is in stillness. God is right there, listening. It's right there. And so they can't be alone, they can't be still, they can't not be in motion, emotion. So, and they feed, and so they're gone because there's nothing to feed on there. Chris D'Elia used to be the headliner of this club here. This is called the Laugh Factory, and now it's headlined every day and night by a dead man, allegedly, named George Floyd. So now the headlining comedian, hang on a second, did my thing go in and out? It happens every day around the same time. I think it's where the Sadaloon is. How much did you guys miss? Please tell me you haven't been holding a precious diamond while I've been shoveling coal. Right. Media is about banana. We're good, right? How much did you guys miss? Did you guys miss me talking about the vampires and the common blood? All right. Aren't most hiding in Israel? No. Idaho. And they don't like Idaho. There's no prey. They want to be in LA. They want to be where the lost souls go. Guys, the war is here. We've been in war for a while. This is, oh, hey, Weiss. We're in a war of souls. Why does evil always win? I'm about to tell you right now. So as I talked about in the beginning, from those Muslim scholars, educating the next generation about the hordes that came out of the steppe called the Mongols. And they would tell, one Mongol woman would tell a giant building full of men to stay as she went and got a sword, and then she would execute all of them, one by one by one by one. Why? Because they were incapable of doing anything. Why? Because they were too, quote unquote, holy. They were whole. Okay. It's because they were rich and placated. They were docile. They were docile sheep. Why is evil so powerful? Because when you get somebody, just think of it. Think about how hard it would be to get me, Owen, to go into a sewer. Hey, Owen, go in the sewer. No. I'll give you $100. No. I'll give you $10,000. You go in the sewer? Like that blackness that stinks? No. Okay, how hard would it be to get a crackhead to go into the sewer for crack? For $5 in crack. You go in the sewer, I'll give you crack. Of course you do it. How hard would it be to get a man like Chris D'Elia? How hard would it be to get a man like me to make a video saying that there's no pedophile problem in Hollywood, that if the government wants to track you on COVID-19 to allow them, and that if you believe in conspiracy theories, you need to go for a jog and you're crazy? How hard would that be to make me do that? It would be impossible. There would be almost no way. And I say almost because, I don't know, I'm trying to get to a point where there's no way, but I can think of a few unfathomable screws that could possibly be turned in my life, but I mean, to enthusiastically go on and say, like, you know, minus the gun to a family member's head, impossible. No amount of money, no amount of fancy smiles, none. So how hard would it be to get someone who has a history of soliciting nudes from underage girls to do that? Very, very easy. The question today is, why does evil always win? Evil doesn't always win. But what has to happen is people have to do things for the glory of God. And I know that can turn some people off and say, oh, how dare you? You have to do things you have to have a connection to God and do things for God in the name of God, for the glory of God, or you will lose every time. And I'm not beating around the bush here, guys. It's like evil will always beat you unless you are acting in the name of and for the glory of God. It's the only thing more powerful than evil. Just being like, hey man, I'm like water, I just flow. Okay. Talk to the Muslims about what happened in the 13th century in Baghdad. They still remember, they still teach their kids, they will never repeat that again. A lot of Americans, a lot of Westerners, a lot of people that feel righteous, they don't tell their kids about what could happen when you don't actively act to preserve what is yours in the name of God. I'll tell you why all these... my mom said something very insightful. Because my mom's the original sleuth. We all need to admit when otherwise we continue to slip. No, but you have to act. I know a lot of really happy, healthy people with very low sin in their life that would stay in their house as one Mongol woman slaughtered their whole family in front of them. You understand? It's more than just being at peace. It's more than just being still. You have to have discipline. When that Mongol invader said to that Muslim king, why do you have a golden plate? Why did you keep this golden plate? You could have given it to warriors to protect you. Why do you have a fence of iron? You could have made spears. He was right. And that was a question for the Muslim to think, like, why would you have a golden plate? See? Why would you have fancy pants? They were Muslim in name. I'm not going to make any judgments. But when you have the golden plate and talk all day of the glory of Muhammad, peace be upon him, and Allah and all that, but you're incapable of protecting your wife and children, you're not being very Muslim. When you're a Christian and you sit around all day talking about how Jesus saved you and all this stuff, but you're incapable of keeping your church open during allergy season, you're a lamb ready for slaughter. And the Mongols almost pitied them. The Mongols pitied them. They were almost like, what is wrong with you people? They said, you deserve to die. You need to die. You have to go. Because you don't belong here. If you have a golden plate and no warriors, you have to go. And we will set you free from this world. Now get on your knees and say, Black Lives Matter. You understand? Why is this happening? My mom had a wonderful insight. My mom is maskless in a world of masks. And she's been analyzing her friends, very close friends who always wear a mask. When they drive, mask. Okay. She said, I think I figured it out, because she's the original sleuth. She said, you get your sleuthing from me. She's like, when there's a mystery presented, I have to figure it out. She said, why do the Laugh Factory presents George Floyd? The headliner is now room temperature. She said, why are they doing that? She said, because a lot of these women have had no control in their life ever. This is the first time they've ever felt control. Isn't that fascinating? They've been out of control their whole lives. My mom's aperture is wide open. Passion to a degree. She's like, some are bad. She's like, some have had no control. They've been told what to do their whole life by weak men. So if there is a moment where they can take control, their own pace. They will. And it's about retaking control of their lives. Why are people obsessed with getting virtue from blacks right now? I'll show you another meme. It's a powerful meme. More whites have been killed by cops. And the black response. Okay, and y'all are okay with that? Right now, black America is acting more like a nation. They're acting more in their cockpit. They're acting more as a unit of power and strength than white people are. And so a lot of white women are looking to them for strength and virtue. They want to be close to them. They want to be blessed by them. They want to have a little bit of that power, because white America is like those Muslims when the hordes came, and they'll stay in their house and wait to be slaughtered because they are empty. And a lot of these black people are not empty. A lot of these black people, you know, the white people will say, but the police told you to stay inside, and they're like, and you trust them? And I'm not taking the side of black people or white people. I think they're all, a lot of those are constructs anyway. In fact, I was talking to my cop buddy, one of my neighbors, and I was like, how you holding up, man? He's like, well, I'm talking to a lot of my friends in the force, and they're all miserable, including the black ones. It's not about black or white. It's about scapegoats. It's about strength. We all get it. But why are so many white women wearing masks, and why are they trying to be close to blackness? Why do they want power from blackness? Because black people are, like, the white arguments are so absurd, guys. You're huddling, waiting for a Mongol woman to slaughter you. More whites have been killed by cops in the black response, and you're okay with that? Why don't you tell them to stop? Why don't you take over? And white people instinctively, all human beings instinctively gravitate towards power, especially when they're moth people and they're empty. Especially when they've had no power in their life. This is the textbook white woman. My boyfriend loves me so much that he doesn't watch porn that has girls in it. That's white America. That's Steven Crowder's white America right now. That's like, my boyfriend loves me so much that the porno he watches is all men. Because he doesn't want to look at a woman, because I'm special. All porno is gay porno. All porno is gay porno. And so that's white America. You tell that woman right there to wear a mask, stay in her house, and wait for a Mongol to slit her throat. She will. She has no ability of going back. Like, go back to the title. Why does he belong to me? Did you know that the autonomous zone in Seattle is not the first? Did you know that Israel is not the first Jewish state? Anybody know that? Of course you didn't. Because you're so comfortable, you haven't even sought out more information. There's a place called Biro Bidzan. Ever heard of it? No. It's a town and the administrative center of the Jewish Autonomous Oblast, Russia, located on the Trans-Siberian Railroad near the China-Russian border. There's 75,000 people there, and the official language is Yiddish. It was founded in 1931. What else do you notice about this area? The flag is a rainbow, and it's a Jewish state right in Russia, and it's been there for almost 90 years. And you've never even heard of it. Why? Because you're comfortable. You're like the Muslim people huddling up, waiting to die. Why can these people act? How did these people get that zone? I'll tell you what I believe. Probably a series of blackmail, owning somebody's soul. How? Sin. Always sin. Look, Crystalia accused of soliciting nude photos from underage girls. People have known about this for over a decade. Why did no one say anything? We did. So why is the media turning now? Because little Chris failed in his psyop to gatekeep this. Would you like to see a little video of old Joe the Tote Rogan and what he may have in store for his future? People always wonder, why is Joe cucking so hard? Why is Joe saying that all the riots are only white people? There's no black people in the riots. Why we have to trust Bill Gates? Why we have to because these videos exist of Joe. And there's videos of me where I'm saying crazy stuff that I feel some shame for at this point and all this stuff. And do I even think that this should be something you can't say? Of course not. You can say whatever you want. But I'm out of the beast. They can't hold anything over me because I'm out. They burned it up and I said, bye. You know, the reason that these things, that Chris will humiliate himself and say known lies and cover for pedophiles is because he's still covering this stuff. I've atoned for mine. Well, let's watch a little Joe the Toe.
And we're giggling, oh, we're going to see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door, and there was no white people.
Okay. Do you think Spotify doesn't know about that? Do you think they don't know that there's video out there saying that he walked into Planet of the Apes because there's a lot of black people? Just watch this again. Do you think that the people that just gave him $100 million are not aware of this?
App, and it says, okay, take me to this one. And the guy goes, okay. I goes, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out, and we're giggling. Oh, we're going to see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door, and there was no white people.
Obviously, they know. So why did they give him $100 million? Because Joe the Toe knows at any moment it can be taken, and it will be taken as people surround him and suck the blood and cum out of his body and shit. Like vampire virtue people. He knows that so well. That's why he told me that he was going to help me, that I should run my tweets by him so that he can police them. Jimmy Fallon had to apologize for a sketch he did on Saturday Night Live over 10 years ago in blackface pretending to be Chris Rock. And he did, like a good dog. What do you think they have on Fallon? Horror. What do you? That's why Hollywood and DC love pedophiles. They love them. The more horrible, the better. What did they have on me? I'd hooked up with a bunch of chicks, all way over age. You know, that's why I think Chris is a little bit more of a good guard dog of lies. Is because if you solicit a nude from a 16-year-old, man, this is what's known in the business as bad optics. So the more sin you get, the more they can use you to demoralize and sterilize the population. And so this is how you can understand how this all works. So why does evil always win? Because good people stay silent and they don't do anything. Why? Because they're weak. If you have blackmail on somebody for pedophilia, you can get your own country. In 1931, right in the middle of Russia, they can say, this is ours now. And they say, but we have an army. It's like, I have pictures of you with a goat. Like I have your debt. I have your porn. I know what you are. This is the blackmail currency. And the more these people get people to engage in sin with them, it's power. So who is they? You know, this is a question that people ask a lot. Who is they? Of course, you have Satan. But they in this world are men engaged in sin. Those are the people that are your enemies. The government isn't your enemy. The CIA isn't your enemy. Even Mossad isn't your enemy. You know, the World Health Organization isn't your enemy. These are constructs. You know, this is how the devil works. The devil can get good men, quote unquote good men, to start going off with false binaries and sin. So then they say, okay, there's 50 people on one track and one person on another track. Which train do you stop? Who do you save? Don't answer. Why? Because you're already engaged. You're already engaged in it. Just say, I don't see a track. I don't see a train. I would take the coal out of the. I would you know, just say. Those false binaries is how they get, it's like greater good. Guys, there is no train, there were no people. That's made up out of nothing. This is magic, this is dark magic. Lenin, Trotsky, and Stalin were Jews, not hard to start. Forget about Jews. It's not about Jews. It really isn't. It really isn't, dude. It's about evil. Because if you say it's about Jews, you give up your autonomy to say no. People are desperately trying to figure out if Crystalia is a Jew. Does not matter. So you're saying non-Jews don't solicit underage girls? I'll show you 50. I'll show you 100. I'll show you a whole boatload of non-Jews that solicit underage sex. So it's a category error. To say the Jew is what causes pedophilia is absurd. They're high-ranking slaves as a tribe because of how much evacuation rituals they've done. Even the bar mitzvah itself is an evacuation ritual. It's to humiliate and embarrass a 12-year-old. Louis well connected. But connections, guys, there's no love in these worlds. There's no honor amongst thieves. None. How does evil win every time? Because you can get a crackhead to dive headfirst into a sewer for $1 worth of crack. You can get someone you have pedophile blackmail on to humiliate themselves, sell out their voice, sell out their people, just to say, hey, I'll give you another week before I expose you. That's why evil's so active. It's so action. So how do you fight it? Do you fight it by just avoiding it and say, I'm doing my own thing, man, I'm cool? No, it slowly eats you. You have to act in the glory of God. Dude, if anybody else has any ideas, you can let me know, but I'm watching it over and over and over and over and over again. Do you know how many people wouldn't become subscribers of unauthorized.tv? Where there'd be like 50, 100,000 people listening to me every day on YouTube or something. And, I'd look at unauthorized, it'd be like 1,500 people, 2,000 people. Why such a small percentage? You like me. You will spend that amount of money on coffee water from Starbucks and drink half and throw it away. It's not about money. What is it? Why don't you act? Why don't you support what you like? In a world of comedy cucking and endless horror and demoralization and sterilization, you see and you hear someone, man, I love this Owen Benjamin, man, I love the way he talks. He's got some jokes. He's not scared to say anything. I say, subscribe to unauthorized.tv. It's only $5 a month. And they go, I can just listen though for free. Why don't you act? Because evil always wins. If I said, I have pictures of you with a goat, you'd subscribe. You give me $1,000 a day. I could leverage you until, so why? Why won't you just act? Why won't you, in the name of good, true, and beautiful, say $5 a month? That's one coffee bean water that I throw away. Why would you just wait? I've seen people on these mirror sites on YouTube that play my stuff, and they're like, man, I missed you, dude. It's so good to see you back. I'm like, why don't you join unauthorized.tv? It's not even cowards. It's not fear. No, it's docile. It's just not. Want to know what it's closer to? Is like those people in the movie WALL-E that are just fat. Nom, 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 nom. Evil wins every time if you don't do stuff. And it's not even about unauthorized. Join. But it's like if you don't actively do stuff, evil wins every time. They have an engine. And we, as a crew, the Bears, are noticeably very, very high with action. Like when I put out the send me mask videos, I have like 1,000 now. It's endless. Hey, bud. I'm not saying weak words, buddy. Not at all. Thanks for checking, though. He's just making sure. He's censoring. It's like, what was I just talking about before my censor came in? It's like people just think that things are going to be done for them. And the Mongol will hold up your golden plate and say, why didn't you sell this? Why didn't you get warriors with this? It's like, no. It's not overt cowardice. Some of these people, if it came to their door, they might do something. But in general, you're just acting like cows to slaughter. Like the amount of people that were watching my videos that weren't joining unauthorized, and even after I was kicked off, didn't join unauthorized, I was like, you can't pay $5 a month just to go to a web. We've made it so easy for you. servers, we own them. Front end, back end, all of it. You know, it's like you have lock screen ability. Like, what else do you need? And they're like, I don't know. It's like, so if a Mongol horde, hypothetically, tells you all to stay in your houses and wait for orders, do you do it? Yes, we're watching this. You have to have a desire to please God, or else you're done. You have to know that God is watching you and you have to impress and crush, or else you're just going to be like, why does evil always win? Guys, unless you act in the glory of God, it will win every time. It's so easy just to say N-word. I just don't feel like dealing with it. Why do you wear the mask? It's easier. But God's watching you. Why'd you put a mask on your 5-year-old? That's the face of God. I don't know. I just don't feel like dealing with it. Are you evil? No, evil will tell you, go wait here. I gotta. Hey, wait right here. I'm gonna head to the store, get a butcher knife, and then when I come back, I'm gonna slit your throat. Okay. Just wait right here. Evil is chaos? No, it isn't. Evil has more of an actionable plan than good right now. Get mad at me all you want. It's like they're systematically just shutting down America. Guys, look at this. The permanent headliner of the Laugh Factory in Hollywood is now a dead black man from Minnesota with no jokes. Does that look chaotic to you? I've thought that sometimes, that evil is chaos. It isn't. That's meticulous. That's a plan that was carried out to perfection. Do the people involved have a plan? No. It's Satan. It's demons. People don't sit around and go, this is what we're gonna do, boys. No, people give up their autonomy when they have addiction, when they have sin. The more sin, that is they. They are people with dirt. When you have dirt on somebody, a dirty cop, a dirty FBI agent, a dirty, that is how it's acted. You could have a moral CIA. You could. You could have a moral Mossad. You could have a moral NASA. You could have a NASA that tells you everything that's going, that really looks at the ionosphere and does a good job, like making sure, that we understand. It's the people in it, to the man. And the devil just says, it's just like a scale. It's like, do we own you yet? And then they own you, and they'll throw you off that high horse if you fail your mission. Chris D'Elia had a mission. It was to make his audience stop saying that there's a pedophile problem in Hollywood. He failed. And so what happened? He got thrown right off his high horse. Joe Rogan has a mission. It's to gatekeep. What comes out if Joe Rogan fails his mission? This video right here. I'll play this video in front of thousands of people. It won't get any traction. It won't get any news. It won't get, Hollywood Reporter won't report on, Joe Rogan calling black people monkeys. I'm showing you this not to start beef and drama and all that, because it won't. It only will if he fails his mission. The devil will put little Joe the Toe over his knee and spank him. Bad Joe the Toe. Bad toe. You stub your toe, Joe the Toe.
App, and it says, okay, take me to this one. And the guy goes, okay. I goes, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out, and we're giggling. Oh, we're going to see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door, and there was no white people.
How's that going to age? And don't think for a second that that's going to come out unless Joe fails his mission. That's how these things work, guys. Yeah, calculating sins and motivation, exactly. You want to beat evil, you have to be active. It hurts to not wear a mask in public these days. Don't. But I mean, it's just so you, God is watching you. God is watching every hair on your head. Evil wins every single time. Even the Muslims. Right now, you know about how hardcore the Muslims are, right? They are like, no pornos. All pornos are gay pornos. No debt. Cover the face of the women. Get a goat. Get out. That's why I have such respect for a lot of these Muslims. It's like the Amish. They're like, churning butter is already too far with technology. This is it. The butter churner is already dangerously close to a technocracy. They're like, car, we stop at 3 horses. After that, you get soft. Why do these people have these footholds where they're not beatable? Because they remember. They remember the hordes. They remember when the Mongols came to Baghdad and 50,000 Mongols killed 800,000 Muslims in their own beds. And those Muslims walked right to their own deaths. The rivers were flowing black with ink and red with blood because these were scholars. These were scholarly men. These were academic Muslims. They pondered, you know, the nature of Allah and what it really means to serve Allah. And they pondered and they pontificated and they wrote their scrolls and they accumulated this wealth under Allah and they got gutted. And one of the reasons the Muslims don't comply is because they teach their children what happens when you comply, when you keep that golden plate. And the Mongol says, why didn't you use this to get spears? Why? And so that's how they survive. That's how, you know, even in these Palestine and Syria and all these places, you'll see these people just not complying because they know what happens. Guys, that was one of the biggest slaughters in human history, especially by the numbers. Guys, they had home field advantage. Baghdad, home field advantage. All that time, they could have been building castles, sharpening spears, protecting their flock. No, they were writing on the scrolls and 50,000 people a long way from home took them all, and they killed all of them, slaughtered them. Wait in the house and put on the mask. Wait till we tell you to take the mask off. What do I do until then? Just stay here. Stay put. Door to door to door to door. Allegedly. Good call. It's all alleged. But see, whether or not it's all 100% true or not, doesn't matter. When you have a population that teaches their kids, like, don't keep the golden plate, get warriors, get a gun. Like, fucking, when someone comes to try and take what you have, kill them. That's an important lesson that a lot of Americans are forgetting these days. A lot of people who haven't are black people. More whites have been killed by cops. Okay, y'all okay with that? They have more of a nation than the whites in America. And that's why a lot of whites are gravitating towards them and wanting virtue and strength. And that's why they're being put on a pedestal and they're saying, save us black people. And they're like, all you have to do is just fucking not comply with nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So true. So true. This is white America right here. White America is just hoping that no one finds out their porn history. Just hoping. It's like, oh man. Can we make our what did Ryan just say? Our road autonomous zone? I already consider it, Ryan, an autonomous zone. But we have to, Ryan's my neighbor, by the way. Unbearablesmerchandise.com. You have to be able to defend it. Like the Jew has an autonomous zone in Russia that no one ever talks about. 75,000 people, language Yiddish, flag a rainbow. How'd they get that? I guarantee it's sexual blackmail, but I can't prove it. My children are already ready to survive hardship. Here's Charlie during the last Dust Bowl. For those of you just listening, it's my son Charlie, black and white with potatoes. Want to know how you survive? Make babies. Look at my beautiful pregnant wife with a bunch of potatoes crushing. Snap a picture. I'm going to show the bears what fertility looks like. Population matters, guys. Population matters. Demographics matter. The evil of this world pushes demoralization and sterilization. They want you to demoralize them any way they can do it. Why? Because now that you see all these black hordes screaming death to white people, doesn't it feel a little good that you're 65% of the population and not 5% of the population? Doesn't it feel pretty good that you're not South Africa right now? And yeah, there's going to be a lot of broken-ass white people not following the advice of the Muslims of what to do when a Mongol woman tells you to wait for her to come back and cut off your heads. But we're still looking pretty good. And the sides aren't black against white, but they also kind of are right now. But it's only about defense. It's about defending your area, your territory, what it is. Just because there's spells doesn't mean it doesn't have real-world ramifications. Just because white, black, we all know was a spell to homogenize tribes, to make people not have a history, to give people amnesia, to take away nations. I get it, you get it, but it is what it is. And so when someone says apologize for being white, you say, how? No chance. What? We're white. You got to start having the balls that the blacks have. Look at it. This is so, the blacks understand nation better than the whites do in America. And I will never apologize for that. I've learned about what happens when the Mongols come knocking door to door. And the end of the day, is the black man your enemy? No. Sin is your enemy. Sin. A bunch of whites that commit endless sin are owned and operated by an invisible hand. That invisible hand doesn't matter. Those people are liabilities. Why does evil always win? Because when you have a secret, people can get you to do anything. People can get you, like my dad, my own father. His secrets cost he stole $100,000 or something, my mother's retirement, to pay out blackmail. My own dad, I've seen this. I've seen this with my own eyes. And for a while, I thought that meant he was Jewish. Because I bought into that a little bit of like that there's something going on with the Jews and their weird... He's not. He's English and Irish. He might have a little grabbler in him. There's a Czech part that we don't understand, but it's not... It literally is sin. I've been through the fire of this. I genuinely, for a little while, was like, what is up? My dad must be part Jew in order to be so disgusting. But he's not. It's not. Sin is sin. It's like when you get... Oh, my father betrayed my mother as she slept. Took her money. Gave it to homos. To keep them silent. That's what shame does. That's what evil does. That's how evil can make people act. My dad, does he want to do that? No, he doesn't have a choice. Desperate people, and still protected by the beast. When he just recently retired as a college professor, he was giving a party, and everyone's like, oh, John, you're such a good mentor to all these people. You're so smart, John. You had such a career. We're going to name a scholarship after you. We're going to have a speaker come once a year. I wonder if they'll ever hire me to speak in my dad's scholarship. I don't think so. It's going to be Beast. When my mother was fired, there was no send-off. There was no going-away party because the Beast was like, you can't be here anymore. And we're going to humiliate you. And we're going to try and break your soul. But guess what? My dad is covering his face and mouth every day, eyes glued to the television, waiting for Fauci to tell him to go outside. He's broken and empty and an absolute servant of the beast. My mother is crushing. She's making friends with homesteaders and Christians and stuff in the area. She's reading books. She's laughing. You know, picking a raspberry, 78 years old. Guys, I know you can't break Mama Jean Bear. No, and you can't break someone who doesn't choose to be broken. Vera Lynn died today. I know. I'm probably gonna do a stream later about Vera. She's over 100 years old. I think it comes down to people, no repercussion for sin. Guys, sin. The wages of sin is death. I've seen it. Like, guys, my own dad. I watched it happen. He didn't used to be a terrible person like he is now. And it's not sexy. It's not like super villains. It's not like, I have a plan. It's just puppets. Meat puppets. Meat puppets. That's why I say stuff like all porno's gay porn, all that. Imagine, it's so easy to see how this can be done. Let's say a hidden hand can get your search histories. They already can, guys. Let's say they can broadcast to the world what you watch. No one's looking. Let's say they can analyze your sexual deviancy. Let's say they can go back. This is how it works, guys. Sin is how you get control. That's how you become a puppet. Is Vera short for Veritas? I don't know. Sin is your own idolatry. Right. Sin is emptiness. Yes. 103 was your age. Nice. All right. Any questions on that? I got a funny video with my brother. I'll read the chat if you want to just make any comments and let everybody know. It's pretty funny. So don't never trust the turtle.
All right, brother. We are back. We're trying to save a turtle, and now we just kind of want to see it snap. That's a big snapper. Or maybe it's not even a snapper.
Oh no, it's a snapper.
It's a snapper. Like, no other turtle around here gets that big. That'll cut your dick. The key to being around a snapping turtle is not to put your dick anywhere near its mouth.
I think I can pick it up.
Yeah, it can't move fast.
Fast?
Dude, I think they're secretly fast. Dude, that just... Whoa! Dude, I was just got hit by a car.
Hit by a car.
We aren't fucking with the turtle. We literally were trying to, like, save it. And then we realized the turtles are not actually slow.
I'm out.
Dude, I told you, man, the snapper's a... Whoa! It's like a dragon. It's like a dragon. Brother, recap. You almost just lost the thumb, right?
Almost lost the fucking thumb.
I can't save that turtle. I almost just got hit by a car.
We gotta go. Maybe the string will happen.
Dude, I wish the rabbit had won. Fuck turtles.
Look at this lost the thumb, dude. Like, did you see how bad that was? A lightning strike.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Like, my heart's pounding.
I think turtles have had a propaganda PR team for so long saying that they're slow, just so that we believe they're slow so they bite our dicks off. Yeah, he could have gotten your thumb, brother.
Look at him. Fine, man. You're on your own, asshole. I mean, you've been here for 100 million years, but I wasn't. Is there a turtle whisperer? There's no way.
Dude, he's taking dudes' dicks. I bet he's got 9 dicks
I
under
thought I
him.
was smart.
A really codependent chick would date a snapping turtle because she'd be like, he'll never let go. Kind of funny? I don't know.
Dude, that was so fast.
He hissed. They're not really slow.
So that's a perfect example of classic subversion. They make you think that turtles are slow. Oh, the turtle's slow and steady. No, it isn't. Turtles are fast as shit. Like, you have to really establish what is true and what is not. Turtles are not slow. They're faster than rabbits. Want to know how the turtle won? They convinced everybody they were slow and steady. All magic, dude. All magic. Oh, and the price of rabbit... Guys, synchronicities are absurd. The first sentence of the first letter I just opened. Oh, and the price of rabbit went up this week. $2.37 per pound. Okay. Oh, everybody talks about rabbits all the time and turtles, and then immediately someone else talks about rabbits. Okay. I'm not going to fall off the rabbit wagon. Stay strong, Electrician Bear. The Electrician Bear's here right now. He'll tell you. He just sent me this letter. This is what he said. This is all. All right. When the synagogues of Satan closed their doors, I started Daddy Church. We started reading Proverbs this week. Proverbs 1:5 made me think of the bears. A wise man will hear an increase in learning, and a man of understanding will acquire wise counsel. Keep speaking the truth, and I'll keep the power on. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you for the, yeah, I know. It's just it's laughable at this point. The rabbits are slow. I open. Rabbits went up to, I'm not going to overthink it. The whole thing about that is don't overthink it. Just roll with it. Because it's pretty easy to be a little, it's not like to get freaked out, but it's just like, it's pretty easy to just be like, what the hell is going on? Big Bear, everyone knows Wayno, Sexton, and Rabbit. They're constant conversation topics. It happened to be the first letter I opened right after showing a video about a turtle. Okay. Okay, that's always good. All right. Don't overthink it. That's what I realized last night. It's happening for a reason, right? The snapping turtle is the mole spirit animal. Yeah, it's very Jewish. The snapping turtle makes you think you're so brown. And then he bites off his finger. You're Big Bear. I'm 21 Rogan's tall, Delta, and have been a supporter of you and the Bears ever since I saw an in-demand homosexual cross-dresser rant on stage at SJW's and then proceeded to sell Ranger panties. Yeah, that's... After seeing you on Louder with Crowder, I was immediately hooked during a stream where you broke down the lyrics of Hotel California. Ever since then, your streams have given me endless laughter, especially when you are relentless and unyielding on a certain subject, like the moon, toe-to-toe, and NASA phallic worship. That's a good way. That's all I want on my tombstone. I don't even want a tombstone, but if I did, it would be unyielding. Well, who learned that? The Muslims in Iraq in the 13th century. I saw you at Portland show on your last tour and must have stayed after for 2 hours socializing with other Bears and had a blast doing so. It's been one hell of a journey since then, and the amount of spells broken, laughter, songs, and cartoons made has been an honor to be a part of. But the main reason I value your streams, other than you being absolutely hilarious, is the simple fact that even though you may be wrong, you are not lying. Of course, it is also fun watching someone work through ideas in real time, and before we know it, we all get to see the manifestation of the Boomer, the Squirt Boy, Ira, emerge right in front of our eyes and become a permanent staple in the culture of the Bears. Yeah, we're creators here. Keep crushing and may God continue to bless you and your beautiful family. Respectfully, Intention Bear. Yes, during a recent stream, you were changing the lyrics to the song Crazy, and it gave me inspiration to try myself. I hope you enjoy it. Crazy, gravy lyrics. I remember when I was still blind, and little did I know I would be reborn, calling out agendas of trans kids, Jason, Jesse Thorne. And when you just crushed, calling brush, we soon found the saloon. And the sleuth went on to see past all of the lies, like Buzz and the moon. No space for NASA, no curve on flat Earth. Porn is a weapon, no gravity. And when you don't pedal despair, YouTube takes a dive. Takes a G Live. We will be there now. It's G Live. Dive G Live. But don't you know, no more booze. Name the Jew, how dare you? Who do you think you are? Judge, Joe the Toe. He really thinks he's in control. Well, this is great. Well, who's your master? Louder with prayer, louder with Prager, CAA Lobster, sodomy. To be thrown right out of hell, a blessing in disguise, like building your homestead and no corporate ties. Ever since Jimmy Kimmel, ever since Jimmy Fallon, we're boys, we're done. Nobody's having more fun than us, and we've only begun. Ladle the gravy, hot country gravy, UATV, unbearable. That was amazing. I'll put it on piano tonight. I love it. Here, Mr. Smith. Captain Bologna Butter here. I got wet. I can't read all of it. Bedazzled Rogan being. I hope you read this on your live stream. If so, it's over for you. You're a gay Jew, tranny midget. Eat my death. Oh, is this from Peter? Peter, water got on it. Alright, alright. Alright, I can do it with it. Alright, you just have done some investigating. I looked into your past and I've been closely watching your videos. What I've noticed is shocking. I don't know if it's deepfake or... Yeah, but I do know that I'm right, and Richie from Badger confirmed it for me. Now I can't prove it like I can prove that Mary Lady, but here's my conclusion. Alright. I can see some of the strange camera angles and lighting. Inconsistencies in mysterious background items moving. Upon further investigation, I realized that you are wearing a fake Adam's apple. Sometimes it's in a different. Can't read that. Sometimes you forget. Transgenderism. And I also noticed something else. You never show yourself next to actual men or reveal your height. You are usually sitting or walking amongst women and children to make you look bigger. What's up with that? Yeah, that's right. You've been caught. Very funny. Eat my jack. Kick. I got a little bit. It's very funny stuff. Very funny. Anyway. Cradle the gravy. Hot country gravy. Here's Sue said something really funny today. He's like, thanks for telling me that, reminding me that the CIA has been working on the flat Earth psyop for 50,000 years. All right. Hi, Owen. Thank you for the gravel for my dad, by the way. I'm a long-time listener. Oh, and by the way, I don't know what the hell the Earth is. I don't know its shape exactly. I know what it is not. I don't even care that much. I want to know what the hell's up there. I want to know what's past the ring. Of course. You can't. Just because you can't. Oh, so okay, I'm gonna take a balloon up 120,000 feet. Oh, you're not legally allowed to. Okay, then what do you want me to do? If you can't prove that what I'm saying is false, guys, this is how borderline personality disorder works. If you just stick to a lie and you say, if you can't prove to me what reality is without a shadow of a doubt, then you can't question it. I'm like, okay, prove it's a spinning ball. That's who reality is. No, you play by the same rules. I'm not gonna submit to that shit. Oh, and by the way, did you see, I got some more stuff for you. Oh, I didn't get that one. Oh, would you like to see, visually, what looks for Caucasians like an unlocked bike, like an unlocked child's bike on a porch for glass? Want to see the white equivalent? Copper wire. Whites just can't get enough copper. Like when a white sees a copper wire tool, they're like, I got to get that. It brings out the deepness. This is interesting from Dennis guys. Atlanta police has walked off the job in Zone 6. Zone 3 is now walking off as well. About to get chaotic in Atlanta. Cops walking off the job in protest of innocent officer charged with murder to pacify Euricidal mob. I'm getting reports that all cops in the city are refusing to respond to any call that is not involved in officer violence. This is the next step. This is what's happening right now. Good for these cops. Good for them to finally stand up for their own. Guys, the black doesn't respect you if you don't stand up for your own. And if there's a group of people called cops, by the way, when I say copper, I'm not talking about this, whites. A cop in Atlanta was tased. Like his taser was stolen and he was tased by a criminal and he shot him, justifiably. And now he's being charged with murder, so the cops are like, we're out. And everyone's like, right? Dude, cities are going to get very purge-like. I don't blame them. No, it's the best move I've seen since all this has all started. It's the first time I've been like, finally a little pushback. The pushback is just like, dude, because you can't be a cop in that environment. If someone steals your taser and shoots you with your taser and you can't shoot them, you can't be a cop. Like, and then if you do your job, you go to prison for murder? No. And and if you allow them to do that to a fellow cop, you're selling yourself out. That's what comedians should have done with me, but they didn't. So now the permanent headliner is a dead guy. Is if they mess with your own, you have to stand up to them. And the best way to do it is not with violence. I know that that's going around right now. It's violence. No, it's just will. Your will. If enough cops say, what you did to our fellow cop is wrong, so we aren't going to play your little games anymore. That's way more strength than shooting somebody. It's saying, okay, we're out. It's great. That's exactly what they should have done, because it wasn't fair. Minneapolis police should have done the same thing, but they didn't. They failed, and now their precinct is gone. You think that you're saving? This is the irony of people. Why does evil always win? Same theme I'm doing all day long. Because people think if they just play ball, if they comply with evil, they'll still get their pensions. Guys, the most self-destructive thing you can do as a police officer is to go along with madness. Okay, you should have circled the wagons on Sheldon. I'm telling you, you should have. To get on your belly and say, please guys, learn from the Muslim scholars. Oh, how dare you? I'm not allowed to listen to Muslims. Okay, well, they make sure that they tell everybody what happens when a Mongol tells you to wait while they get a sword and they slaughter your whole house. One Mongol woman. They're doing it right now. They're doing it right now. I've learned from everybody that wants to teach me. And if you don't think that there is deep knowledge among some of these other religions and gods and all that stuff, you're missing out, man. You are missing out. Because it's about history. Your history books and your Rockefeller textbook in school is as far from the truth as humanly possible. You want to know the real history stuff? Oral tradition from the region. If you're unable to listen to Muslims speak, you're not going to understand what happened in Iraq in the 13th century. Islam is a false religion. Who do you think? No, it's just so dumb. It doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying. If I'm telling you about Catholic knowledge, that if you go into the catacombs, you go into the Vatican Library, and it's like, oh, it's a blank home, burn it. No one needs you to. You think you're virtue signaling to other Christians, you're not. You're waiting in your home for a Mongol woman to split all your throats. I'm not speaking on religion, I'm speaking on history. History. If you want to get all of your information by Satanist, sadist, scientific dogma told to you by public education, that's your choice. When you say, I'm explaining right now why I'm doing this, it's not about questioning dogma or your religion. It's about history. It's not the false religion. You go to your live stream. Is your priest webcamming? Is he webcamming your masses? That's the thing, is when you say Islam's a false religion, you're such a cuck. You sound like, like Jay Dyer and all these people are saying, oh, that's a fake church. Fake church. Oh, I'm a special boy. You know how there's that meme that everybody that disagrees with me is Hitler? How we used to always laugh about that? How we'd say the SJW meme where everybody that disagrees with me is Hitler? The Christian meme is everybody that disagrees with me or challenges me is fake church, fake religion. And you're gonna, it's a fate worse than death for you. I'm serious. Lying to yourself on that level ensures the destruction of your religion, your faith, your everything. You're not a faithful person. I don't even remember his name if you guys keep going on. I don't care. It's just so weak. I'm literally taking the time to even explain what I'm saying. I'm like, it's about the oral tradition of the region. If you can't listen to Muslims speak, you don't know what happened in Iraq in the 13th century except for what Carnegie and Rockefeller tell you. To open, adamant atheists who not only believe that Muslims think there was another prophet. These people believe God is dead. It's not real, that you're spinning in endless darkness, and this is where you send your children. You have so much guilt and shame over this. This is why evil always wins. You can't face it. You can't face it. You indoctrinate your children with the lies of serpents. So when someone like me says, oh, this Muslim scholar had a really good story, you say, la 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 la. I can breathe air if I just put down another religion. Dude, go. You're facing a dragon right now. Dragon. The name of this episode is Why Does Evil Always Win? It always wins if you go down that path. You lose 100% of the time. 100% you will lose. You will fight, if you fight 100 battles, you will lose 100 battles. Good luck. And I really mean that. Because all you got is luck. Hi, Owen. I'm a long-time listener and huge fan of your work. Thank you for all that you do. Roll some ancestral gravy. There's a lot more history, religion, and pecan gravy if you're interested. However, However, as I am a guest in your saloon, I do not want to overstep the bounds of gentlemanly behavior. No problem. I will read it. And also just know that, it doesn't matter. It's fine. I was expecting this letter to be about dragons. Our ancestors were not pagans. That was a term that the desert people from the south gave us, which means not a follower of one of the main world religions. The correct word is Teuton. That is the name of our race and our ancient ancestral religion. The Teutonic race is from the area of Scandinavia. Among that race were many tribes of many cultures, Saxons, Angles, or Angels. Angels. England was named after these men of land of the Angles. Christians, Aryans, Cherusi. Alpine is the name of the race of the people native to the UK islands, made up of many tribes, including the Picts, Britons, Celts, etc. The east is the Slavic race, Gaul, France, and generally a mix of Alpine. A significant portion of Christianity is modeled on the Teutons' native religion. For example, the Teutons worship the goddess of fertility, Easter, every spring, and the rebirth of the sun every December 21st. Also, the Teutons believe that our heroic ancestors were watching us from above in Valhalla, and our Grabber ancestors were watching us from below in hell. They believe this life is a test. Sounds pretty good to me. Our ancestors had a great reputation for balance. Tuesday is Tyre's Day, is the god of war. Wednesday is Woden's Day, Odin, the god of wisdom. Thursday is Thor's Day, the god of strength. Friday is Freya's Day, the goddess of love and forgiveness. That guy that got banned, by the way, is like, well, I mean, it is Thursday. I guarantee he tells people like, oh, maybe I'll come over on Thursday. He's saying Thor's Day. He's literally, with his belief and logos, his words, and his actions, is participating in this religion. Doesn't even know it because he's so retarded. You know, just walking mindlessly in the world of nonsense. Is thinking that him just saying, I'm Christian. I'm a Christian. Oh, you're fake. You're false. You're fake. You're false. La 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 la. It's psychotic. It's too psychotic. It's psychosis. The god of war balances out with the goddess of love and forgiveness. The god of wisdom balances out with the god of strength. They believe that, oh, and by the way, it's a different definition of God. Just to let you know, this isn't my religion, but I'm letting you know that when they say God, it's different. It's not like saying like the abstract idea that you can't see, but is an idea. Abstract. That's all they're saying. I'm DAYZ, I got a sport, I just need to relax. Oh man, I only like threesome porn, but I'm a Christian. Guys, like, it's over for those people. You don't even, the reaping right now is happening so fast, and it's only going to escalate. If you lie to yourself, you are fucked. Guys, it's a reaping. It's a reaping. And it's not about saying the magic words or living in magic soil. Oh, if I'm on this soil, I'm safe. If I say these magic words, I'm safe. No. Evil always wins in these silly games of the world. Fact, every fucking time. Sorry? Yes. Guys, think about where we were on March 12th versus now. It's escalating. It's going faster and faster. It's not slowing down. It's only going to escalate. Guys, Atlanta Priest is fit. The Purge, remember that movie? That's real now. That happened yesterday. What happened? What's the tip for Pat after that? What's going to happen next? Private security? Warlords? Who knows? I don't know why people say, a lot of people say you're saved by, I believe you're saved by faith, not. You want to know why a lot of people say that? Because they're hiding. They're saying, oh, I can jerk off to pornos all day long. I can sell out my own race. I can sell out my own family. I cannot have a nation. I cannot fight for anything. I can submit to everything I'm told because I believe Jesus Christ is my Savior. Good fucking luck. That's why I saw one of the biggest tough things I've ever seen in my life. Someone said, Western women I'll just read it. It's unbelievable. Posted that black woman saying, you okay with that? And someone said, white liberal women are the death of America, period. It's got 12 letters. I'm about to go on that. I just got And this legend, Dylan Smith, says, you think you're blaming pieces of paper for losing control of your women? Maybe we should feel all trash and sour women and he's a pussy. To say that it's because of liberal women, it's like, well, that's your responsibility. No, but we're equal. No, we're not. It's God, man, woman, child. That's the order of operations. Okay? If you allow your nation needs to be destroyed, God wants you to take it. You know, and if you engage in black arts and dark arts and keep your nation longer than God wants it to do, you know, if you're that weak, if you don't follow God's law, your nation will be destroyed. If you allow your women to keep your own nation, it's gone. That's a birth, that's a death process. So do you feel in control or not? Like, are you responsible for your woman? I'm responsible for my wife. I'm responsible for her safety, you know, her purpose, her all of it. So you're gonna, so it's like, you can extend your nation, and then it's a bigger drop. You'll pay for it. You always pay. You always pay. God wants to judge every Cuck nation. God hates Cuck nation. Right now, the black nation in America is doing better than the white nation in America. Even though white isn't a nation. Dude, it's so annoying. But it's true. They're saying, get on your knees. You know, apologize. And then people are like, okay. That means that they oddly have less sin. They're more fruitful. It's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it. I think there's going to be a big change in all that, though. And I think the cops quitting in Atlanta is a big wake-up call. But nothing's going back to what it was. Nothing. All my white liberal women friends have weak mask-wearing husbands who depend on CNN to tell them what to do. Exactly. That's what my mom came up with that. These women that she knows wearing masks, it's the first time in their life they feel any control. Oh, but they have liberal husbands who give them, no. Guys, liberal squirt boy husbands give their women no control. None. They don't have protection. You want to see what a woman in control of her life looks like? Right there. That's a woman who wakes up. Don't get me wrong, she has responsibility over the children, just like I have responsibility over her. She wakes up thinking, what are we going to do today? We're going to make goat milk ice cream, or are we going to, let's go gardening, let's do this, let's make a hat out of alpaca wool. She's in control of her day because she has an absurd husband. It's like, rah, I'll keep the monsters back. That's what it is. God, man, if you follow the law of God, you're free. It's the exact opposite of what people tell you. These these men, these are the people that their women have no control, no power, none. They've been given, none of God's grace or power has been transferred to the woman. It's been eaten by the men, these cucks. And these very men will blame women for then acting accordingly and then having a relationship with the devil. Literally, guys, it's that simple. The emptiness, the state, whatever you want to call it, the media, fashion, purses, whatever you want to call it. It's like, God is freedom. Right. God's law is the only thing that allows you to be free. That's it. So if you're like, God said not to squirt, guys, the porn is the opium war. This is our opium. You know the opium war with England? Ours is sexual perversion. It's how you're controlled. It's how Crystalia was controlled into saying all this shit. Oh, there's no pedophile problem in Hollywood. Oh, COVID-19, just let them track you. It's because they owned them. Porn, sex, degeneracy. That's how they get the soul. And the more disgusting, the better for them, the controllers. And those controllers are owned men too. No, they're not in control. Those people puppeting Chris D'Elia are being puppeted too, and it goes all the way to Satan. Well, guys, this is the only logical deduction you can make. I'll show you something really funny now. I'll keep reading this. This meme made me laugh really hard. I sent it to some people that were more on the... Well, I'll just tell you about it. It's just a picture of a really depressed FBI guy. It says, the biggest threat to Christianity, by the way, is Christians. How dare you? Oh, I'm taking off again. My FBI agent, after he started to research my post and figures out that his entire life is a lie. Oh, by the way, Big Bear 3366911 on Instagram. I've stopped adding people. But I'm set at 6,633 followers. 6633 3366. Those are the type of numbers that keep you safe from the cabal. So whenever it goes down to like 6, 3, whatever, 25, I'll look at the line like it's a club. If you have a bear icon, bear name even better, beard, real person name. Like right now, there's about 100 in the line. And I just look through. Whenever it drops down, if you have a bear icon, you have bear name, beard, you look like a normal person. It's not an abstract idea like frog gay gang or something. And okay, welcome. We gotta get it right back up to 6633 before anyone notices. BB Instagram ban hammer is strong. Yes. Well, my account's private. Like, I get it. It's conquer territory. Private property. They still own it overall, but it's very similar to like a land fee. You're still renting from the federal government, but it's closer to like a private property. You're less targeted because people can't just like start a hashtag and be like, all right, take this guy down, all you gay guys, and they're all just like, oh, if I do this, you won't tell my secrets. That's all it is. And that's why, this D-Live, I'll keep up my videos until time can get to that unauthorized and I take it down. I'm not even going to leave them up to date. I can tell that there's another rumbling of like trying to take me down from media saying I'm anti-Semitic or something. So guys, it's just like fighting. You just cover your face. Don't be an idiot. Don't just be like, oh yeah, hit me. No. Alright. Our ancestors had great appreciation for balance, which you can see in the days of the week. The god of wisdom balances out with the god of strength. They believed there was an appropriate time for each of the archetypal ideas. Yeah, for a lot of ancient people, God meant archetypal idea. Every day, week, year, and lifetime, fractal truths, the value of their religion and spiritual leaders is to instruct people on when to use each response. Yeah. It's been adopted by mainstream Christianity. Jesus is not born in December. So why is Christmas on the 25th? Because the solstice is the darkest time of the year, and then Jesus rose 3 days later as the Son of God. That's why they did it. If you look at the astrology of Jesus' birth, it had to have been in the spring. It had to have been. In the winter there weren't any shepherds out. Oh, how dare you! How dare you! I'm jerking off again! I'm skirting again! Saturnalian holiday. Yeah, but people don't even know what that means. People just say words so that they don't think. Saturnalian holiday. It's like, it's also, for anybody that works outdoors or grows their own food, it's very useful. Like right now, close to the summer solstice, the sun starts coming up. You can see the sun very off in the horizon at 3:30 in the morning here. And it gets dark at 10. Now, if you're outside working all day, that's very valuable information. So when you say, okay, when's the summer solstice? That's when there's the most amount of sun. Why does that matter? Because life comes from the sun. Oh, but the words of the God created, not the created. Shut up. You're only going to be getting food from labor camps if you think like that. Guys, when you're in a labor camp, just remember this conversation. You're like, just remember this conversation, okay? When you are noticing that right now I'm so far north, at 3:30 in the morning, it starts getting sunny. I know this because George spirals when the sun comes up. He starts seeing cats. So lately I've been waking up at 3:30 in the morning because that's when George is like, oh, I see things again. And that's crazy. 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, you're seeing the sun rising. And it's like, yeah, but don't pay attention to that or note in your calendar when that is. Why? Because then I can't swear. Why is everything about your shaft? I grip the shaft, the other hand goes in the anus. And if you point out how weird that is, you're the gay one. I'm upside down. I hope a camp comes and cares for me. Oh, please. So like, do you know when people say happy holidays and people are like, it's Christmas? You know what was really happening with all that, right? Has anybody figured that out? It's like, you were cementing that Jesus was born during a, Teuton or pagan or whatever you want to call it holiday. You're like, don't say happy holidays, say Merry Christmas. Man, these goddamn liberals are taking Christmas from us. It's the day Jesus was born. Why? Because he was risen 3 days after the sun died. What day? This year it's on Thor's Day. For Thor, the god of thunder. I'm a retard. But it's not happy holidays, it's Merry Christmas. I'm a conservative. We're going to conserve Jesus' birthday. Because the sun was born on December 25th, 3 days after the winter solstice. That makes total fucking sense to me. And it's on Friday's day, after Friday. And Easter, the main thing is hunting for... God damn it, Big Bear. What part of a bunny rabbit and colored eggs do you not see has to do with the birth of our Savior, Lord Jesus Christ? This is why people aren't going to church anymore. It's because because they're women. No, it's because you're a fucking retard. Alright. Dude, it's so funny. It's like, it's not happy holidays. That lets in all the pagan ones. It's Merry Christmas. Because Jesus was born 3 days after the winter solstice, because that's when the sun rises. Huh? Yeah, if you look at your Bible and you realize that was all in spring in the Bethlehem situation, we're going to put it in the middle of December because that's when the sun was born. The sun is born 3 days after the winter solstice when the sun died. I'm a special boy. I'm a special boy. I'm a special... That's how evil wins, guys. That's why evil wins every time. Because if you get proof of a pedophile and you're like, we'll show everybody unless you don't do this, they're like, aye. Imagine getting this guy. I'm a special boy. Say Merry Christmas. Imagine getting him to do anything except masturbate. Or eat. Or condemn people online. It's a false religion. Well, you're celebrating Teutonia or whatever the hell that. It's blatantly not Christian. Like none of the Christian holidays have anything to do with Jesus. They all have to do with the sky clock. I'm just no, but I'm so special. My church is right. When was the last time you went to church? Early March, because there was Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci said that we don't go to the church anymore because the only thing we can do is race riot and hook up on Tinder. But doggy style is the only way that we do not contract the deadly COVID-19. Dude, they're just lambs to slaughter, guys. I would have sympathy for them if they weren't so fucking annoying. God damn it, they're annoying. It's Merry Christmas, not Happy Holidays. Starbucks is waging a war against truth. If you think truth can be taken down by a Starbucks cup, you don't know what the truth is. But I'm special. My mommy said I'm special. My mommy said I'm special. But if it wasn't for Western women, we would be special. The truth is being taken down by Starbucks cups. Oh God, no! Another person's gonna read the Starbucks cup and not know how fucking special I am. All right, just looked up an article. Moths are so true. BB, the retardation is unbearable. It's insane. It's insane. Absolutely insane. And they're so condescending to anybody. Islam is a false religion. I am the special boy. Genghis Khan, the real story behind Genghis Khan is exactly what my Rockefeller written textbook told me, because I'm a special boy who goes to school with the mask on, and I keep my social distance, and I put the thing in my butt. I put the thing in my butt so it takes my temperature. And then I put the poison in my mouth and insert in my butt. Poison in my mouth, insert in my butt. So, Islam is a false religion. Islam is a false religion. Have you read the Quran? Of course I know. Evil. What are you reading? 50 Shades of Grey. Because this is what my wife really wants sex with. She wants to be dominated because I spent the whole time in my basement. 50 Shades of Grey is a very beautiful novel about a man. Technically, this is 50 Counts of Rape. But he's very sexually attractive because he's very rich and he's not good. My wife hates me. I did not protest 50 Shades of Grey because my wife really liked it. It's how she gets off when she touches herself when I go to sleep. I'm a special boy. So what about the Quran? No, do not read the Quran. The Quran is very evil. 50 Shades of Grey is very good for my wife. It allows her to sexually climax. Have you protested 50 Shades of Grey? Of course not. How's my wife supposed to get off unless she has a man that does not take no for an answer? A real man, a real good man, a real rich man. So have you read the Quran? No, Jesus. Fuck no, we gotta burn that fucking thing. Why? Because it's very threatening to me. I'm a special boy. I'm a special boy because I listen to the special boys. Ben Shapiro is a special boy. I'm a special boy. We all have the same penises, and we have generally mutilated penises, but we know that Islam is really bad because they generally mutilate the vagina. Only mutilate the penis, do not mutilate the vagina. The vagina is what we worship because we are special boys. Mutilate the penis, clip the penis, bite the penis, suck on the penis, but do not under any circumstances allow the woman to not get off from 50 Shades of Grey. It's the greatest book ever made because it allowed my wife to stay with me and be satisfied because she reads story after story about a billionaire who raped a girl. Guys, maybe you should rethink some of these things. I'm a special boy. I'm a special boy, and if they tell me to wait in my house for forgiveness, I will. And they will come, and they will touch me, and I will be saved. And then they will cut my throat, and I will bleed out, and I deserve it because I am so special. Alright. Islam circumcised themselves too. I'm not promoting Islam, guys. You're missing the point. It's the special boys don't have any thoughts. If you're against female genital mutilation, which they claim is Muslim, why are you not against male genital mutilation? No. This is how we get rid of smegma. I am not promoting any genital mutilation. If that's in, I don't even know if it's in Islam. If that's in Islam, I'm against it because, say it with me, class, I'm against genital mutilation. No, but you have to pick a side because you are not complete unless you have a side. Okay, I'll say it again. If Muslims say that you have to clip a dude's dick, I'm against that. But no, you just said something nice about the Muslims. I get to learn and interact with whatever the fuck I want. I don't like clipping clits or dicks. No, but you are. But how are you the special boy unless you've given up? Alright. Same reason black babies don't matter. They don't. I'm just gonna read my letter. My compassion is running thin. I just allowed myself to be in that person's mind way too long. And now I'm probably just gonna start banning everybody, so just watch your behavior, please. I know myself. I just allowed myself to be in the mind of true madness for 5 straight minutes for comedy. And I know that you guys thought it was funny, so enjoy that. You're welcome. But now I'm a little agitated. Because I felt it. I felt what it's like to be these people. I'm the special boy, and then my wife is oh, God. Oh. I'm gonna join the Black Lives Matter movement just to like fucking get a couple of these people on their knees. I'm rollerblading with scissors. Why does that make me laugh so much? Alright. Now you need it. You saw it and then Dear Big Bear, I'm writing to express my admiration and gratitude for your sterling efforts over recent months. You corroborate my reality and make me chuckle. Thank you for your courage, strength, and sensitivity. Please accept a copy of Led Zeppelin at Leicester University, 1971. I know you like the Immigrant Song. Is the opener here, but I hear the acoustic sets from this period. I'm sure you could make something out of going to California. Check it out. I will, thank you. But I'm supposed to now say Led Zeppelin is bad because I'm a special boy and they read Alex Crowley. You can't enjoy that music. Now read 50 Shades of Grey because that's the only way my wife can go to sleep with any kind of physical satisfaction. As you know, Led Zeppelin are heavily linked with the occult and Aleister Crowley. Guys, the synchronicity is insane. Yeah, of course. They were at one point probably bigger than the Beatles, Private Jet, legions of groupies, wild tales of excess, playing to hundreds of thousands of fans. They certainly could have sold their souls for fame and fortune. However, where did the band's leader end up? Proving that which you know all too well. Narcotics Anonymous in Scotland, where the real power is. BB, he now spends his days fighting Robbie Williams, attempts to put an indoor swimming pool in his West London mansion. They are neighbors. Happy birthday, old chap. Stay off the sauce and keep well. Love ya, London Bear. P.S. It was my favorite blogger, Charles Frith, to put me onto you. Shout out to Charles Frith. Shout out, Charles Frith. Thank you, buddy. His blog over the years has been a revelation. Thanks for everything, Owen. Anytime. That was nice. They'll probably, I'll land the plane now. Led Zeppelin are bad just because they suck. Yeah, guys, you don't have to, I don't care your opinion on Led Zeppelin. They're bad because they suck, not because they're ritual. They're horrible people. And if they are trying to get people off the sauce, great. Some of their songs crush. Again, I get it. Did they sell their soul? Yes, of course. But it's never a permanent thing. It's like, do you degrade yourself with your appetites and disgust and you're owned and operated? Yes, obviously. Now, can you... I think there's a good chance Kobe Bryant was trying to do good shit. I think he owned the patent to Black Mamba, which a pharmaceutical company wanted desperately. Not good stuff, but he was also trying to... tell like teens or something to like try, or I don't fucking know. He might have just not cucked to something, so they took him out. But there's a fascinating story about how this one pharmaceutical company was trying to buy Black Mamba in the months before his quote unquote helicopter crash. Paige liked him young, yes, but again, and I'm not justifying this, I don't think you should even watch porn. But there's a big difference between 16 and 5. Understand that. Pre and post puberty, if you don't have a separation of that, you can't accurately explain the horrors of some of these circles. A powerful man having a drive towards a fertile post-pubescent woman is hedonistic and sinful, but it at least is in the realm of nature. At least if you're capable of getting pregnant, it's still under fruit. If you are going for a boy or a man or a animal or a prepubescent girl, it's a level of sickness and derangement that is it's not even close. It's not even close. The sin of lust of wanting more fruit than your family is experienced by everyone alive. That's it. And if you pretend that you've never experienced that, you're a liar. And I know you're a liar, and everyone knows you're a liar. If what isn't natural and what isn't something that people deal with that aren't completely fucked are wanting to be inside of a man, a boy, an animal, or a prepubescent girl. Those are all real fucked up. It means you're not trying to get fruit. It's sterile and depending, there's a difference a grown man is already weird to want that, fucking weird. But a boy is to destroy. It's an act of pure destruction. And we all know this. We all know this. And I'm gonna hold firm to that, because to degrade the ability of pointing out, to muddy the waters. You know, like, look at what racism has become. It's become a mockery of a mockery of a mockery of a nonsense word. What word can you use to describe? You know, Vox Days coined something, a great way of describing it, that is bad. White globalism. To think that because your skin is lighter than other people's skin, you have a right to go to other lands, conquer them, and make everyone whiter is sick. That is a problem. To say, because we are white, we can go to your area where there isn't white people, and we're going to kill you, and we're going to make everyone white. That's evil. White globalism. That's why every now and then, you know, you want to have strength as whites. Like, this is why this meme is so good. It's like, my legs have been killed by cops. Y'all okay with that? You want strength. You want to say, you don't hurt us, you don't demean us, you don't come here and tell us how to live. Boom, you know, this is our region. But you don't get to fly around like termites, you know? And this is something that never is talked about, because this is what the grab war actively does. The grab war actively goes to other nations, other areas, subverts, demoralizes, and sterilizes to push their way of life on people. That's evil. That's what evil is. That empire shit. That empire, and when it's racial, it's extra bad. And so when people say, oh, you're racist if you don't listen to black music, you're racist if you don't think that it's better to have sex with black people than white people, that makes it so that word is nonsense. You have to be able to have a word that you could, like, pedophilia is a word that should have some serious fucking heat behind it. Like, you want kids. Versus someone who was sexually attracted to an adult-looking teen. And I'm not justifying either, but there is a different level of sin involved. And know that. All right, guys. The chat looks like it's gotten not really going. I don't know if this is even still working. About 6% of the world is white and shrinking daily. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Then have kids. How many kids do you have, Tim or May? Are you white? How many children do you have? So many people that think this way want everyone else to have a ton of kids except them. They want to feel safe in numbers. Guys, 800,000 Muslims were slaughtered by 50,000 horse people thousands of miles from their home. It's about strength. It's not about numbers. Numbers are good. But fruit, not just like, oh, 6% shrinking daily. Well, then get stronger. How many kids do you have? You have 3? Good for you. Just listen to great as you do. Have 4, have 5. If that's what you really want. Replenish the white race. Right. And also, don't always assume all these stats are accurate. They keep saying there's like 9 billion people in the world. I think there's way less. All right. Any final questions before I go? 5 and counting. Good for you. That's where it's at. 6 babies here. Have that. There it is. 2 so far. There it is. Have 4. Have 5. As many as you possibly can. As many as God gives you. So the word racism is a mockery of a nonsense word. You have a right to have pride and strength in your people. You have a right to have warriors. You have a right to say you can't come here and tell us how to live. You have a right to say you don't get to talk to us that way. You have a right to not get on, Knox Bear, 4K. But you don't have a right to go to foreign lands because your white skin gives you, or black skin, or Jewish seed, or whatever the hell it is. It's like, that is